Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Happy Wednesday, or whatever day you're listening or watching this. And just a reminder again that these little videos, I'm also taking the audio and putting them on my podcast, Curiosity and Consciousness. So it's funny, this week, what I'm going to share with you and talk about, it actually came up, it popped into my head last week to talk about. And in one sense, it seemed a bit left field. I was kind of like, where is this coming from? But at the same time, not, because of all the transitions and everything we're going through and have been going through for the last year and a half and that. But it didn't feel right for last week. And I suppose in one sense, I probably had a little bit of fear, talking on this topic, because we're all like, who am I to speak on this? But this week, after the weekend and the events in the UK, I don't know if you're a football fan or you were watching the Euros, but the horrendous abuse and racism and fighting that was happening before and after the game it really saddened me, and it really upset me no more than all the other things throughout the last year. And it's just that really like, when are we going to learn? Like, when are we going to do the work, go within, and connect to the truth of who we are? And that's essentially what I'm talking about this week. And it's sharing just on the highest level truth, for me anyway, that, and it's not something we haven't heard before, but maybe for a lot of people we actually don't know what it means. But it's that highest truth of, we are all one. We are all one. We are all connected, and there is no separation. In the truth, the essence, the energy, the spirit of who we all are, we are all one. We are all creation. We are all from creation. This has absolutely nothing to do with religion or what you believe. This is the higher universal truth of oneness, of unity, of that interconnectedness, that we are creation. Every single one of us who has ever been and who is here now and whoever will be, we are all creation. We all come from the same source. We are that essence. That is the higher level truth. And yes, on this plane, in this reality, we focus more on our separation or differences or fears. And we can't compute how we are all one. But if we use the analogy of the sun, the sun is in the sky and it is beaming and it is sending down rays all over the world. And maybe I'm out basking in a ray and someone else on the other side of the world is doing the same. And we may feel like that's a separate ray or a separate sun or a separate piece of heat. But when we trace all those rays back, it is from the one source. There is one great central sun, and that's where all the energy and the rays and the heat and the sunshine comes from. And we're the exact same. We look at ourselves as all these individual people. And yes, we are individuated in this reality. We have our own form, we have our own stories and roles to play. But when we move beyond that, when we take ourselves higher and connect and remember to our true core, our essence, it's all the same. It's all that oneness and that energy. But we will never know that. We can know it cognitively, but that's not good enough. It's to be experienced. And the only way to be experienced is to go within. Because anytime we are judging another, criticizing, hating on someone else, causing hurt or pain to someone else, it's because most of the time we hold those within, and we have those within towards ourselves. So instead of projecting it, it is our work to go within, to feel all our suppressed emotions or pains or unresolved wounds, issues, whatever it is, which may be yours, which are also generational, which are also ancestral, which are also from the collective. But it is our work to do our piece, to free ourselves of these lower vibrational energies, of this conditioning, of these beliefs, of this programming that does not serve us, so we can connect to our true heart center, our deeper core and essence, that timelessness, that energy that is all of us. It exists in all of us. That is creation, that is source. And again, this has nothing to do with religion. So the only way to see and know that truth and have compassion for another is to first activate it and have it for ourselves. And that requires the work. And the sad piece is, and the unfortunate piece is, that most of humanity don't want to do it, because it takes a level of getting honest with ourselves and perhaps feeling a bit uncomfortable in ourselves for a while. And I say this as a person who has made the shift, has done the work, and continues to do it every single day. And when you do it and you find that level of love and compassion and connectedness for yourself, well, then you look at others very differently, especially those who are acting out, who are in pain. You can see how disconnected they are from themselves, the truth of themselves, their core. And that's not making excuses, to say it's okay. But our reaction is everything. If we go fighting violence with violence, we know that doesn't work. But when we connect to something, that part, that timelessness, that energy within us, deeper, well, we can have compassion for that person instead. And we don't want to hurt them. We actually want to love them, to help them to better themselves and come back to themselves and not act out in whatever way they're doing. Love is the key. But again, and that when we do it for ourselves, when we connect to that and experience it for ourselves, and the only way is by facing our shadows, our resistances, our fears, those hidden parts that we don't want to see. We need to see them, to feel them, to heal them. But when we do that, again, we look very differently on each other. We don't see the separateness. We actually see that to hurt another is to hurt ourselves. We comprehend on a new level the interconnectedness of it all. And we actually see, whenever we judge or compare or act out or hurt another, it's actually because we are hurting ourselves. We're doing that to ourselves. And we don't want to feel that, so we often project it. So it's all this coming back to our own truth, that higher truth of all of us that we all carry. And when we do like that, we have compassion for others, but not just other humans, for ourselves, for others, but also animals, nature, planet Earth. And we can see how we have been destroying and plundering and thinking we are supreme and we can do whatever the hell we want and there's no repercussions. But no, we all live in this energetic, interconnected sphere. It's timeless, it's formless, it is energy, it is frequency. That's why things that are in the collective as well come up. So this is the higher truth, and this is the work that we're all being called to do for, years, but especially in the last year and a half. And again, it's about learning to honor the truth of who we are, honor creation, and then honor that in every other single person, and realizing that everyone who is here on purpose. Creation doesn't make mistakes. Everyone is here on purpose. We're all meant to be here at this time, whether plant, animal, nature. So it's honoring that. And again, it's not living in that separation and fear of each other. And another analogy, actually, I heard Marianne Williamson using one time in the Course in Miracles was, if you think of a wheel on a bicycle and the spokes, we identify ourselves as the spoke, but where we land on the wheel, That's how we see ourselves as so separate. We focus on, our role, our outward exterior, who we are, where we're from, what we have, whatever, and we identify with our position on the wheel. And that's an element, that's absolutely an element. But what we forget is, if you trace the spokes back, they all come from the same hub again. They all come from the same hub. And that's the same as us. We all come from the same hub, that same energy, that same essence. And when we connect to that and remember that, we see it in everyone else. And we see our oneness, as in we see our sameness, that energy. It's not about the exterior of what we have or what we do, or our skin color, or where we live, or where we're from, or how educated we are or not. That's just the external roles we have. We see beyond that. We see the truth of the same essence and energy. And in there is no inferiority or superiority. There is no one person better or worse than another. It's that oneness. It's that same essence. And remembering that is crucial. It's everything. It's what we're all been asked to do. It's the only way we will evolve, we will raise and move into a new way of being. It's remembering our collective humanity. It's remembering the gift that we all actually are, and the gift that life itself is. One of the least valued things, Greg Braden said once, we destroy what we don't value. And one of the least valued things is human life. That's why when we connect to how precious and how worthy our own life is, and how worthy we are, that is not dependent on what we own and how much we earn and where we live and our skin color. It's that essence, that source creation energy, the fact that we're here and that when we were born, we are valuable and worthy. And when we connect to that and remember that, it's a very different ballgame. So we have to connect to our own value and worth and how precious our life is first within us. And then we can extend that to others. So that's the work. And that's the invitation I send you this week. Just as I'm wrapping up, some angle grinder or something goes off. But it really is to go within, to connect to your own value, worth, your own life, your own love, your own essence, your own core, your own spirit, your own truth that is always there, that we forget and we separate from because we get so overly focused on the externals. And like that, they're fine, they're important, but it's coming back to our core first and foremost, and that truth, and connecting to that oneness and experiencing it, and then seeing that in everyone and everything outside of us. And that's how we'll rise. And this is the shift and the evolution that we're currently in. It's an evolution of consciousness, and it's coming back and remembering our core and the higher truth of who we all are, where we all come from, and that we are all one. And to move out of fear and separation and hurt and judgment and hate. So let me know what you think. Slightly longer than other weeks, but it's a really difficult and upsetting topic to talk about, but also it's important because it is so possible to make the shifts. It is so possible to remember our interconnectedness, but it all starts with us individually. And we may seem, at times it can seem hopeless, going, oh, here I am doing my great thing when the whole world is whatever. But no, it's one by one, each of us reaching a critical mass, coming back to wholeness, remembering the truth, and coming out of the fear and separation. So, thank you for listening. Have a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.